was a big offseason for you guys.
Mhm.
Just about a month ago, Altuve signed a contract to stay with the Astros for the rest of his career, really. How great is it to know that Altuve is going to be staying in that clubhouse? He's always felt
Mhm.
like a leader in there.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, Jose, he's been with us forever, and hopefully finish the rest of his career with us as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been a big part of this organization. Everyone in the clubhouse loves him. He's a great person, and he gives everything he has out on the field every single day. So I was extremely happy to, hear that news break. And he loves being in Houston, lives there full time, and his family can really like settle in and not have to worry about anything the rest of the time. And I'm just extremely happy for him, and he's definitely earned everything that's come his way.
Speaking of contracts, Kyle, you have 1 year left on arbitration. Dana Brown, GM, has vocalized that he would like to make you an Astro for life and feels like an extension will get done. He even at one point said, "We will get it done." So, how are those talks going? Are there talks currently happening? What does that look like for you right now?
I mean, like you said, I still have the rest of this season and next season
Yeah.
still through arbitration. So um, my focus is always here and with this team and trying to win games and everything. So um, the contract stuff, like yeah, it kind of plays a part in your career and everything.
Yeah.
But I just try and focus on everything I can do baseball wise to try and get better and help out the team. So I know there's no like real like hard like deadline or like time frame on
Yeah.
stuff to be done or whatnot. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I know we got plenty of time before anything really happens or hit free agency or whatnot. So I mean, I've always felt comfortable here. I've played all the way from when I got drafted in high school through the minor leagues and throughout my big league career so far with this organization. It's been
Yeah.
great. Our coaching staff, teammates, everyone's been phenomenal. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, there's no real time frame on anything. Obviously, you don't want to prolong it and make it a whole like lengthy thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I know a lot of stuff kind of happens throughout spring training just because it's easier because you have a little bit more downtime and you don't have to focus on like the regular
Yeah.
season games and playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Coming soon.
So there's plenty of time, like you said. You got this year, then the year of arbitration. But in a perfect world for you, you'd get something done before you hit free agency. You'd like to be with the Astros.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've felt comfortable here. Organization, everyone's been nothing but great towards me.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, we'll see what happens. If something does, great. If not, that's kind of how things go. But I just gotta kind of wait and time will tell.
Kyle, in 2022, you hit 30 homers and came up 5 stolen bases short of a 30-30 season. Last year, last year, you fell 1 homer short of 30-30, but you had an inside the park homer that they later ruled a triple, so you ended at 30-29. Was that something you were gunning for last year? Are we going to get a 30-30 season this year? What we got?
I mean, I always try and like one just do my best and like your numbers at the end of the year will be what they are. Um, Obviously you want to hit those milestones at if you're at 18 stolen bases or something, you want to try and get to 20.
Yeah.
And just it's just nicer numbers and you hit like a mile marker and everything. So I mean, you definitely try and do stuff like that at the end of the year, but at the same time, if you're in a close like divisional race, you need to make the playoffs and stuff like that. You try not to really worry about that. You're trying to win the games and make it to the playoffs and go from there. But I always obviously the more the better. Would I love to hit 60 homers, 50 homers? I'll take them. But that just kind of comes with playing time. You got to stay healthy and just really focusing on your at bats and stuff like that kind of just builds up over the course of the season. And then with the stolen bases, it kind of just depends on the opportunities you get and how good at jumps you are, like catchers times. We got a lot of good catchers with really great arms and pop
Yeah.
times. So you just kind of taking stuff that like that into account. You just got to take your opportunities and take chances at times. So obviously I would love to have 30-30 or more. But it kind of just depends on how the season goes.
Did you Did you have a feeling after that inside the park homer, did you think it would get changed to a triple, or what were you thinking?
Well, originally, like I hit it and I was like, oh, it's a line out. And
Yeah.
then I saw him kind of like, but I was like, thought I barreled it kind of well. And then he ended up like, oh, like this is actually hit a lot better than I thought it was, and it ended up going over his head. And I was like, ooh, like this might be an opportunity. And then I was like rounding second, like running a third, and I saw him like start to get the ball to third, and I was like, dang it. And I was like, honestly, I might as well just go. And I was like, hopefully they just give me a homer out of this, and this is how I get it. But obviously, like I think there was like multiple like back and forths between like triple error, just triple like homer. And I was just hoping the whole time they would just keep it as a homer or like change back to it. But obviously ultimately they didn't. And that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. But at that point, I mean, we won the division, had an opportunity to play in the playoffs. So I didn't like dwell on it too much. I was
Yeah.
just looking forward to the playoffs, you know.
Would have been nice though. Would have
That
been
would have been great, but
nice.
next time.